What is up, everybody? Welcome to Murray NJ08. We have a very, very special, many years in the making, YouTube Q&A, questions and answers with Sean. But this is not only a special return to the series, episode 2, this is a celebrational episode, 20,000 subscriber celebration. I am celebrating all this coming week. Special playthroughs, special Q&A specials like this one, special giveaways, special shout-outs, special streams on Twitch. It's a celebratory week coming up. Long, hard work since the beginning of YouTube, since 2008, on YouTube, on the original platform, when it was in its early beta stages. I've been through every change. I've been through it all. Long, hard crawl up the ladder, still working, still getting there. And I wanted to do this for you guys. I wanted to take the best questions and give you guys a shout out and do a Q&A 20K subscriber celebration special. So what I did was I could have been here all day answering hundreds of questions. And I really do try to answer questions all the time, not just on a special. If I see questions on Twitter, I do try to answer you guys. I'm very good in the comment section. Instagram, YouTube comments. I really do try to interact with my subs. I think that's another reason why I've been here so long. I'm not one of these YouTubers that try to ignore everyone like I'm some big celebrity. A lot of these YouTubers think that in their head. I never really was about that. I'm just, I try to think like you guys and try to interact with everybody. So I try to make this community really nice. And what I did was I put up a video on YouTube, actually, comment here, so it makes it a little bit easier to gather the comments. But then I went on other YouTube comments, and I went on Instagram, other social media. I went on my Twitter, and I gathered, I think I made it roughly, I printed some also. And then I got some on here, and then some on the YouTube video. I think I gathered around roughly, let's say, 20 questions, but they're good, because I'm going to elaborate on a lot of them. Because like I said, I could be here for hours, and I don't want to make this podcast that long. And what I did was I took questions that really were good questions, but also questions that I might not have answered your question, but it might have been the same question. So instead of asking or answering the same kind of question, I answered one person, but that might have had a question that other 10 people had. So I tried to answer popular questions, but also hard and good questions that had me thinking. Because I was overlooking these the other night, and I cycled through about 200 questions from you guys. And I'm not just talking, the past week. I'm talking the past few months. I've been really working on this and getting ready for this special because I knew it was coming. I knew I was going to hit 20K sooner or later. So I had a jump start on this. And I had some really good ones. And some of these questions you guys had asked a long time ago. You're like, Sean, you didn't answer them yet. I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this special to start. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to bounce between these questions. These are mostly outside of YouTube, but they're by a lot of YouTube followers. Some of these, I've picked some from you guys, I admit, that have been with me since like 2008. And some are new guys, and some are just all-around good questions. And then what I did was I went here, and I made a list of questions from that video. And then these are like miscellaneous questions. Some of these are from the past few months. And some of you guys are on all social media with me, so that's awesome. You have multiple usernames. Let's kick it off, guys. First of all, thank you for taking this journey with me. Those of you that have been here for the whole ride, those of you that have just joined me, those of you that are just joining me today, it's been awesome. YouTube has been a roller coaster of adventures, let's just say. Wow, what a long I would say, gosh, about 12 years or so, right? Um, Way before the streaming days even started. I've been here since day one, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot come and go. And we're still chugging along. We're still getting ready to do another 12 years. I am just getting started here, guys. I got all new equipment. I got all new software, new games. We are ready to go. We are just getting started. This is the new wave of Murray NJ08, round 2. Let's get into it, guys. I can't wait to answer your questions. I hope I answered one of yours, or I hope that your question is answered either way if you asked it or not. Like I said, I really tried to cycle through some good questions, so I hope I did a good job. Let me know. Let me know how I did. We're definitely going to do another one of these in the future, not just for this special. I do have this series, and I will try to make episodes more often. I know it's been so long, but I was holding out for this special, so hopefully it was worth it, right? This is from Jasmine's Cartoons on Twitter, but also on YouTube. His name is Jasmine Poteet. Now, here's another word of just to clarify. I'm probably gonna butcher these names. I got some crazy names on social media. I will try my hardest. Please, I apologize ahead of time. I'm trying my best here to pronounce names. I'm gonna really try my best. Please let me know how I'm doing here. Question: how do you stay motivated enough to keep making videos? Also, congrats on nearing 20K subs, because at the time he wrote this, I wasn't quite there yet. Wow, that's such a great question. That is such a great question. I get this question. This is why I'm answering this. This is a very, very popular question. Man, it's really because of the reactions that I get from you guys. It's not only, constructive criticism also, but the positivity that comes with it. When you guys get joy of the videos, and when you guys say or write me on social media and say, man, I really loved that playthrough, or I really liked that podcast, or I really liked that review. And then I see you guys chit-chatting. That makes me want to make the next video. I get right on it, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm getting vibes. People are really liking this. That gives me the motivation to keep going. And I think that's why I've been here since 2008. I think when I've made my first few videos and people, even maybe I never really went by views. Like, even if a video had 3 or 4 views, if one person went on it and said, hey, bro, cool video, that was like the world to me. I would be like, whoa, I got to make another one now. Or even if somebody had said to me through the years, this is good, but maybe you should do this or that, but they did it in like a nice professional way, constructive criticism. That made me like, I want to continue. I want to make myself better now. Now I'm taking this advice. I want to make the next video. I can't wait to make the next video because I want to make it better. Or they like it so much, I want to continue making the same kind of video. I think that's the motivation. I think it's really the feed off of you guys, and what I'm getting from you. That makes me want to continue forward. Good question. I get asked that a lot. Three Grizzly. My question is, what inspired you to start YouTube when it was in its infancy stages? Good question. When you can only post 10-minute videos, when you couldn't even make money off of it. Secondly, what is your greatest achievement in life, whether it's your profession as a photographer or a YouTuber? Wow. Really great questions. And I get asked these 2 questions a lot. And I'm reading your first question about how it was only 10-minute videos. Yeah, believe you me, I remember those restrictions. Whew. Oh man. You know what the best way to answer that first part is that the best thing that I could say is that I always wanted to make videos. And at the time, there really wasn't, even still today, there really wasn't really anything else that compared to it. And so, even like you said, in its infancy stages, it still was the best platform. And even today, I give it hell. I complain every day. I'm always writing them, screaming at them, because it really is like a monopoly with with Google and YouTube, which is why I think they're so slow today in correcting a lot of issues, because they figure, well, where else are you going to go, to get such a massive platform to be heard, right? At the same time, it was like, where else am I going to go, especially then? So I wanted to make videos, and I wanted to put them out on YouTube, and I dealt with the restrictions. I dealt with the 10-minute videos. But like I said in the last question, I loved the feedback. I loved hearing from you guys. And I dealt with the BS. I dealt with, there was no monetization then. It was a hobby, which is still pretty much like it is now. I mean, let's be honest. I have other jobs that I do. But I dedicated the time then, just like now, to videos for you guys. And yes, it was a lot rougher then. There was a lot of restrictions then. And copyright was, I think, terrible then, because you didn't have the support of sponsorships and YouTube monetization and the partnership program to help you with copyright claims. So it was like, you could be taken down. I don't know if we ever gotten into this, but I've had YouTube channels before Murray NJ08. I had like Final Fantasy channels that were taken down. Boom, gone. I was like one of the first Let's Players. I actually had a camcorder that would stick in front of my television. And those videos got copyright claimed. I mean, I was done. I was like a nobody. They looked at me and they were like, you don't own this. It's very different now. Let's Plays and playthroughs back then were like, who does this? This is like out of the norm. Now it's like a dime a dozen on YouTube. So that's to answer that. But yeah, there was a lot of restrictions, but I kept going. I kept doing it because I wanted to do it. So I dealt with a lot of it. My greatest achievement in life would probably be, like I said, hearing the feedback always made me feel like $1,000,000. I mean, you got these YouTubers that have millions and millions and millions of subs that half of them probably don't even read the comments. Me, I had at the time 10 subs and maybe 15 views in a video, and one person said, "Oh, I'm loving this video. This is great stuff, Murray." And that made my day. So to me, that was like an achievement. As far as my profession, when I do a portrait shoot of somebody or when I do a wedding and I go over the images with them and the bride or the groom points out a picture and she starts crying and she says, "My God, I love this image that you did. This image speaks to me. It moves me." That's an achievement for me, because that means that I caught the moment that captured her at her best, and that she's going to remember this by looking at this picture. And she's also going to remember me for taking it. And it's a part of her life, paused, basically, instilled in her forever. It's a picture in time. That's an achievement to me. When I get feedback from my work, whether it's photography, whether it's a video that I did, it's pretty much the praise and the feedback. Same as if I put an image up on a portfolio site and I get a really nice long comment, that's a great achievement. And if that I moved somebody and made somebody feel happy, or the mood and expression that I felt when I did that picture or that video is portrayed and transferred into your feelings. That's the best that I could answer that. Okay. Whew. Antonio Guerra. Hey, Sean, huge congrats on nearing that big milestone of 20K subs. My question is, what's that one video game that turned you into a gamer? What a great question. Antonio, what a great question. And shout out, buddy. I see you a lot on all social media. I really I'm grateful for the support of all you guys. I see a lot of you. Believe me, I take notice of your names. I love you guys a lot. Um, and if you've been there from the beginning. Um, these. I'm just glancing at these questions. They're so great. Man, that's such a great question. I would have to say I'm going back to the early days. I would have to say, see, I could talk about the NES, the Nintendo, and some games that really changed me. I mean, I'm going back to the Intellivision, to the Atari. I'm talking about a game that really changed me. Not the first game I played, because I could go way back. The game that actually said, Sean, you got to do this forever. You're a gamer. And that really spoke to me. I could go to the early PC days when I was on my old PC. Like I was very moved by the game Myst. I was very moved by the game Monkey Island. Remember, I was a PC gamer before anything. And Super Mario Brothers 3 really was like mind-blowing to me. I'm going to tell you a story. I'll never forget when I first saw my cousin. He's older than me. My cousin Anthony playing Super Mario Brothers 3. And I just stood in front of him and stared at him and said, this is unbelievable. And as much as that was moving to me, I knew I was hooked forever on gaming when I first played The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past on Super NES. That was it. That made me, I was like, I'm done. I just want to do this forever. Whether it's like professionally in the future, whether I want to work on games, which I did eventually get into that in college. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past on the Super NES, I was mind-blowing by that game. I think that game was just... I'm thinking about it. I recently played it on my retro series, but geez, that game never gets old, and I would say between all those games, that was the one. Good question. Cowgirl winner. Oh my God, congrats. My question is, what was your motivation to start a YouTube channel and why did you choose to continue? And it's almost a similar question to what I've answered already. It's the motivation. It's the feedback from you guys. And to continue was because I enjoyed it so much. You know what? If you don't like what you're doing, believe me, you're not going to be here for 12 years. No matter what you do, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether it's photography, whether it's car repair, whether you're a painter, whether you're a drawer, you have to have motivation of wanting to do what you're doing. You have to enjoy it. And I think it has a lot to do with the people around you and how they enjoy what you're doing. Like if you're an artist and you're a drawer and somebody comes up to you and says, my God, your drawings are phenomenal, you're naturally going to want to continue. If somebody came up to you and said, oh my God, that sucks, you're believe me, you're going to get that. Yeah, you're going to get that. And you're going to get trolls and haters and whatnot. That's going to come with it. Believe you me. I'm a YouTuber that's been doing this for 12 years. I know about that and I know how to handle it. We'll get to that later. But I think it's the positivity that comes with it that really motivates you and that makes you want to continue. But you also deep down have to want to do it yourself. That's number one. Linda T. This is a long one. Congrats to almost 20K, even though I think you deserve so many more subs. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. My question is, being on YouTube, there is always going to be, here we go, negative and hateful comments. How does one handle it the best way without letting it ruin your day or ruin your motivation to continue to create YouTube content? Wow, perfect timing, right? We were just talking about this. Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. I don't care what you do. Um, especially social media, and especially when you expose yourself to the public when you put out content, right? That's going to happen. There's not one YouTuber that doesn't deal with it. If he tells you he doesn't, he's lying. You're going to get jealous people that don't want you to succeed. You're going to get negative people that are just constantly negative. And you're going to get, I mean, constructive criticism, but I'm not even talking about that. Let's not even talk. That's a separate thing. That's a good thing. I'm talking about negative people that are negative just to be idiots, right? Just to be dicks. Let's be honest. How I deal with it is I know that what they say has no truth or value to it. It's not like when I was young, I might have sat and thought, oh, like when I first did YouTube in the early days, I might have said to myself, oh, man. And actually, there was a point where I was afraid to read comments. Now, I actually love responding to them. I like giving them their own medicine back. So it doesn't bother me. How I deal with it, it gets better over time and you learn to deal with it because you know other people are dealing with it and you know there's no substance or truth or value or any validity or anything to what they say. And then you go on their page and they have like 0 subs, 0 content. They have nothing to contribute to YouTube. They have no creative content in their head. They're basically wastes of oxygen. And then you feel better about yourself, you know? It's not like somebody's coming on your channel and saying, you suck. Your content sucks. And then you go on their page and they got like 10 million subs with all this creative content. No, it's the opposite. You go on their page and they have nothing. They have nothing to say. They have nothing to contribute. Actually, what they do full time is they go on all people's YouTube channels and they just cut them up. So, you know, another thing that I deal with is, and I get this every day, and if I showed you my comments, you wouldn't believe what I go through. But I get death threats, I get hate, I get, especially with giveaways, like when people don't win, it's a scam, it's a fix. I hate you, I hope you die. It's almost cringeworthy, but you know, I have to take it with a grain of salt. And I have to say to myself, I can't let this bother me because I really deep down feel bad for them. I want to really say to them, instead of getting nasty and retaliating, I want to say to them, take a minute and think about what you're saying, and maybe you should do something useful and start making your own channel. Instead of taking up 10 hours a day and going on other people's channels and saying you suck, why don't you start doing something and then we can critique you? They don't like that. But good question. Anshu Nag. What's up? How are you doing? I see you a lot in the comments. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for all the support. When you started your channel, what you were thinking about and what make you motivated? And again, that's similar to what I answered before. The motivation is the feedback, the positive feedback, not the idiots. Not the negative stuff, the positivity from you guys. And I don't know if this is what you mean, but what am I thinking about? Like when I make a video, it depends, you know. It depends on what I'm motivated. That changes. But overall, the motivation is to entertain. The motivation to make videos is to entertain you, whether it's a review, whether it's a podcast talking about music, whether it's commentary during a playthrough, whether it's a review about a game, whether it's unboxing a Blu-ray disc, whether it's talking about computers, whether it's talking about a press conference and I'm reviewing it. It's to entertain you and to, you know, receive positive feedback and to hopefully know that I'm doing a good job to continue making videos for you. That's really what I'm thinking at the time and the motivation really behind it. KK, how much did you earn upon your first monetization? Congrats. Good question. Not a lot. Um, I'm trying to think if it changed through the years, but right now the original threshold is $100. You have to at least make it to get a payout, which is once a month. So the least I could say was $100, but I wanted to say that the threshold back then was like 50. So I probably made $50. Yeah. So, but again, this channel is never about that. I don't even really think about that. To me, it's about making quality content. There are a lot of YouTubers that fixate on that, and I understand why. They don't have other jobs. They don't have other forms of money, and they do this for a living, and they do this for a job. They sit at home all day. They don't have other forms of income. A lot of them, too, nowadays, let's be honest, go on Twitch, and they make a freaking shit ton of money in tips. And then they have Patreon, and I know people that make over $100,000 a year, and they never leave their house. I'm not about that. I don't really believe in that. I think that's being a lazy bum. But you know what? God bless you if that's what you do. I've always been a hustler. So monetization never really was on my mind. It's just an added bonus, and that money goes right back into the channel. It goes back into giveaways. It goes back to games to cover. It goes back to whatever content. It goes right into the channel. It's a channel expense. Not the same for other YouTubers, unfortunately. I've been there. I've been around the block. I've talked with them. And they take that very seriously. They know by the cent what they get and what's coming. Rama Raju. Now, let me just say, hopefully I'm saying your name right, correctly. You are awesome. This guy is he's unbelievable. He supports the channel. He's been a long-time viewer, a long-time sub. He's on all forms of my social media. He's always retweeting me. He's always supporting me. Again, motivation to continue, motivation of why this channel's been going for almost 12 years. This guy's awesome. Big congrats and shout out to him. Thanks for all the help and support of the channel. Thanks for spreading the word of Marianne J08. All right, we got a couple questions from him. Hi, sir. My huge congratulations for being close to 20K subscribers. So happy to be part of your beautiful journey. I appreciate that. I really hope you achieve more milestones in the future. It really is a milestone. My questions are, number one, share. I'm going to do each one in a row. Share with us a funny event you never shared with anyone in your life. Oh my gosh. A funny event that I never shared with anyone in my life. Oh, man. I see. I didn't overlook this question ahead of time. I got to think about this one. I mean, I'm trying to think because there's a lot of them, but a lot of them that I have shared with people that people know about. You got me on the spot, which is good. I wanted to think about these questions. I didn't want these to be easy, and that one really makes me think because I'm wondering what questions, what events, what's the funny event that I never told anybody about? Well, here, I'll answer. I'll tell you a little story. I don't know if this is funny, but now this isn't something that not everybody doesn't know, but here's something that nobody knows on social media that I never talked about, and I talk about everything. So you got first listen, okay? Here's for my social media people. I never talked about this. This will let you know how bad I was in school. You ever watch the show Leave It to Beaver or Dennis the Menace? Well, think of that, but like times 10. I had excellent grades, but let's just say I was known as the class clown. I was always in trouble. Um, I I signed up for chorus for singing. Um, and the reason why is because I wanted to get out of math class. That's the only reason. I now you're thinking, oh, chorus, he's a singer. He loves to sing. When I was a kid back in the day, I think this was like 4th or 5th grade, I didn't. I didn't want to sing. I didn't want to sing anyway the songs they wanted me to sing. They were horrible songs. It was like the Bee Gees or something. So I said to myself, I'm going to be able to get out of like the last like 25 minutes or whatever of math class. I'm taking it. I'm going to do it. I did the entire class with my music teacher, about another, I don't know, 9 kids. We did the whole class. We did the whole semester. And I was so good that my music teacher wanted me to be the lead singer in the play, in the final auditorium at the end. We were going to take all the songs that we learned and we were going to perform them in front of our parents in one night concert. I was going to do all the solos. They were going to set me aside and make me start the show and sing the Bee Gees and whatever, Rick Ashley, whatever the heck I had to sing. I had to sing Aquarius. All these 70s, 80s horrible songs. Or at least I thought were horrible at the time. I was a kid, right? My parents all had known the songs. I had to sing Up, Up, and Away. Dancing Queen. What did I know, right? So, it was the night of the concert. The day before, we did our last practice. I was getting real good at it. So, I never told my parents about the event, about the concert. So my teacher says, "You're all ready? Are your parents ready to take you? Are they all ready to, sit and watch you in the audience?" I says, "Oh, yeah, we'll be there." He says, "Well, you got to come at least an hour early because we want you guys to do a little practice and set up. And you can invite, I think it was like 5 tickets. You could invite your aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, whoever." It was a big auditorium. The school was big. Well, I never showed up. I wasn't going to go. I only took that class to get out of math class. I didn't care. The next day was school. No, I think it was a Friday, so we had the weekend. And then it was a Monday. I went to school. Everybody was quiet. I would pass people in the hall. They would stare at me. I'm sitting in my English class or whatever, and my music teacher stops by, and I see him coming through the hallway. Then he stops, and he stares at me, and he's looking at me. And I'm on my desk, and I'm reading my English book or whatever. My teacher's up there teaching. About 10 minutes later, I look at the doorway, and he's like this. And he's staring at me. I said to myself, I'm so fucked. I knew this was going to happen. But I figure I'll just deal with it. At least I didn't have to go up there and sing. So after that class ended, he grabs me and he says, in other words, go in my room. We're talking. He was so angry. But the long and short of it was that he was more upset for me that I didn't take the opportunity. Then he's like, we had to get some other kid second in line that was like best to sing. He didn't know the lines. It was a disaster. The whole concert was a disaster. Everybody's mad at you. Like they gave a shit. You know what I mean? He was mad. But like I said, he was more upset. He gave me suspension. For a week, I had to stay after school and put music books up on a shelf. Good story, right? I think it was funny. He didn't, though. If you mentioned this to him now, he wouldn't think it's... Well, maybe now he would think it's funny, but he didn't at the time. Let me tell you. He was pissed. I ruined the whole show. Hmm. At least I'm laughing. What is your life philosophy? How do you see life in your perspective? I say it's what you make it. Be positive, try to give back to people, try to do the best you can for people. Whether or not they're going to take it as positive and accept it is up to them. But make life what you want to make it. Do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. You want to make people happy, but at the same time, it has to make you happy first. And if you don't enjoy doing what you're doing in life, don't do it. It's got to start with you. It's got to start with you. And then everybody else after. And be positive about it, overall, whatever it is. If not, what's the point, right? If I were to ask you to choose one of your best professions, photographer and YouTuber, what would you choose and why? Oh, sorry about that, guys. I switched scenes with my Stream Deck. Great question. Great question. That's hard. That's like, because they're both got such positivity in their own right. Well, I guess I would say, I guess I would say photography because I really enjoy going out there, meeting new people, meeting new landscapes. There's a story behind every picture. It's an adventure. Um, you know, there's a lot behind the scenes. Like I said, you meet new friends. I've met a lot of people along the way. I've met a lot of other photographers. Um, so if I had to pick one, I would say that for those reasons. Financially, it could really be very beneficial to you. Um, depending on what you do, especially weddings. There's also a hobby aspect of it too. A lot of times I'm shooting for fun. So it's the best of both worlds. I'm testing lenses out. I'm doing my own projects for me. But then you have the business aspect of it. You have the positive responses from people. Um, Again, people that love the pictures, and you have memories. So I would say, the photography part of it. But YouTube, I could probably say just as much. There is a saying, behind every successful man there is a woman. What is the role of Mrs. Sean, family, friends, in contributing to your beautiful journey? I would say, as far as wife and cousins and mother, father, family, friends, I would say support, and no matter what I choose to do, and being there and helping out. And when there's a problem and there's a crisis, they're there. I'm going to tell you. And aside from photography and aside from YouTube, which they were 100% supportive, um, I got a lot of stuff behind the scenes, health issues. Um, I'm on like 45 different medicines a day, especially for my age. I get told every day by doctors, wow, we don't see this. I've been type 1 diabetes since I was 4. I've been in and out of the hospitals my whole life, in and out of rehabs. You could go on my Instagram. I got pictures of me with wheelchairs and crutches through the years. I've had massive strokes. I've had heart problems. I lost sensation on my complete left side. And the support through all that from them and being there and taking me to the hospital and visiting me through rehab and helping me at home with exercise and therapy and as far as that, yeah, my wife has helped me through everything. Same with my parents. So I would say through, sickness and in health, a crisis and support 100%. You know, it's a journey, and it's not easy, but they've been there. And as far as the photography and the YouTube and all that, 100% support of giving me the thumbs up for whatever I chose. So that was always good. And whatever I chose to do in high school and whatever shops or college, whatever I chose to pick up, they helped me and they were supportive. So it was pretty much all good as far as family and wife and all that. No problems there. So it's very important to have good supportive family and wife and loved ones. I can't stress that enough. Without that, there's nothing. Without that, you know, you hear about all these famous people and all these successful famous people, and some of them, you know, you watch their documentaries and they don't have loved ones. Without that, you have nothing. So keep that in mind. It's also motivation. Helps with the motivation as well. Arthana, congrats. My question is, what made you choose this path and not something else? Well, like I said, I always loved making videos even before YouTube. I had one of those giant big camcorders back in the day. I was always filming something, and everything on my YouTube channel is stuff that I already loved. Like I cover music. I loved music. I cover video games. I've always loved video games. I covered computers. I always loved computers. Photography. I've always loved photography. So it was stuff that I already loved and that I already did. So I just figure combine it into this. I'm already doing it. Now I'm able to spread it to everybody else, right? This is a good one here. Listen to this one. Haiba Gatum. If you could play one video game for the rest of your life, what would it be? Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Close tie. I'm trying to think of something that has a lot of content. You know what I mean? Like a big game. Oh. Well, definitely Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Red Dead Redemption 2. Just because there's so much to that game. Nadia. This is a good question. This made me thinking. Which game did you think was a waste of time in the end? Good question. There was a lot of stinkers through the years. I would say Homefront: The Revolution. That game was complete ass. I don't know why I finished it. I don't even know why I played it. Complete buggy mess. How that game got passed, I don't know. I don't know who gave that the green light. I really don't. It was absolute trash. There was another game that I had played recently. It was cool. I don't want to get the name wrong, but I think it was called Snow. It was a skateboarding game. No, I'm sorry, skateboarding. It was a snowboarding game. I was on the PlayStation 4. It was digital only. It was a flash in the pan. I saw it because I was thinking to myself, oh shit, SSX, right? No. Ass. It was broke. Horrible. All right. Shout out to Patrick Cadet. Another one that's an awesome, awesome supporter. Big shout out to you, buddy. He just says here, awesome, awesome there, bro, with a big thumbs up. He's known for those thumbs up and those smiley faces. So I want to give Patrick another one back. We got a couple more questions here, not too many, but then we got to go to the sheet here from others that I collected, okay? And then we're gonna wrap this up. Here's a good one. Lasmin Lacolo, what is your favorite Mario game and why? Also, what is your favorite console to play on? Congrats on your upcoming 20K milestone. My favorite Mario game is Super Mario Bros. 3, and my favorite console will always probably be the Dreamcast. I don't know why. I just love the Dreamcast, and I felt so bad because I always believed that the Dreamcast was short-lived. Mostly because the PlayStation 2, if you remember what had happened then. It was like the Dreamcast, and then it was like, man. And then the PS2 just killed it. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. 3, you can't beat that game. That game, and I would say close second would be Super Mario World on Super NES. I would say that would be a second. But Super Mario Bros. 3 on the original Nintendo NES, the best. One of the best games ever. Jaded Alice, what religion are you? A Roman Catholic. All right, that's it for that. Mark Millard. Hey, buddy. Good old buddy of mine, Mark Millard. Had to fit you in here. Or as we like to call you, Millard. How do you do so many giveaways and have so much big money? Yeah, I'm like Howard Hughes, right? And Mark knows this answer, but the reason why Mark is asking is because he wants me to answer it for everybody, because he knows I get this question asked. He's being a smart ass. I get this question asked about 14 times a day, or maybe more. And it's very simple. Well, no, it's not simple. There's a lot to that question. There's the very little monetization that I make on here. Let's be honest, this is for fun, always was. I do many, many professions. It's not just photography, but photography is expanded. Let's be honest. And what I mean by that is this. Okay, now just think about this. I do weddings, right? I do a few weddings a month, okay? You can get a lot for weddings. There's engagement shoots that go with that. Then I have my own, I own my own portrait studio, my own lighting. I do headshots, I do fashion, I travel. I get asked to travel to do portrait shoots. I also get asked to do pets. Whatever that's not in my portrait studio. I also get asked to travel to do landscapes. I do photojournalism. If somebody needs a shot done for a particular article that they're doing in a newspaper, I'll shoot that. I do stuff for local publications. I do stuff for publications in the city. My father and my uncle own businesses in New York City, so they're always getting me photography work right out of the city. I use a lot of studio space over there, so I do a lot over there. That's why I deal a lot with like companies like B&H, Adorama. I do what's called photo retouching, where I do pictures that people give me that are cracked or smudged. I retouch them, I restore them. I do color editing. I have my own scanning and printing service here, where I print and scan images. Then I do laptop repair, which means people will bring me computers that need to be fixed, or I go to their house and do in-house repair. Also, I do networking. So if a studio or a company or a business or a local business needs networking done, which means hooking up a modem or a router, I will do that. I'll help people build PCs or fix them. I've mostly been doing that lately, locally. I also do what's called stock photography, which means you have certain images that you put on certain sites such as iStock 123RF, Dreamstock. And what these sites will do is they will sell your images and to say magazines, publications, flyers, what do you call it? Billboards, like on the road, or ads, and you'll get royalties. You'll get so much money every time that somebody clicks and downloads it. I have literally thousands and thousands of images out there that I license freely for people to use, and then I get royalties from that. Also, as far as giveaways, I get a lot of deals with the companies because I promote them so much. I'll be able to get deals from them. I'll be able to get promotional discounts from them. That helps. Also, I'm able to fortunately be able to know a lot of managers around here and a lot of business owners around here because I do so much business with them. As far as retro gaming stores, as far as GameStop here, I know the owners and managers of like 4 or 5 local GameStops around here because I do so much business and they know my channel. I'm good friends with a lot of them. A lot of the retro stores that are around here, a lot of the gaming collectible stores, the guys will let me come in and give me unbelievable deals. I'm actually working with one right now that's going to have me come in and actually video his store, and then he's going to give me like 65% off my whole order. So I'm going to be getting a ton of stuff. I have Pokemon card dealers that do the same with me because I order thousands of dollars a month of cards. And I have a statue dealer that does that. So I've worked up promotions with a lot of these companies and I get a lot of discounts in my email every month. Even if I don't use it or do a giveaway of something like that, it just goes or it'll stay. Like some of them don't expire. I have credits with a lot of the stores through promotions. And so I do that. I also have a massive, massive eBay store, which I sell, 20 to 30 items, a week, big items. I also do this thing where I go out and I buy broken down tech that people don't want, and I turn around and I fix it, and then I flip it on eBay and I sell it. I also do a lot of let go. So I'm selling a lot. I actually have a retail store where we fix things and flip them and sell them. It's madness, okay? It's absolute madness, but that's the long and short of it. The Nasty Liquors. Best bands live in concert. Good question. Marilyn Manson is one of the best performers I've ever seen live, okay? Hands down, Marilyn Manson is the greatest in his day. He's mellowed out, but in his day, I'm talking Antichrist Superstar, Mechanical Animals, The Golden Age of Grotesque Error, Marilyn Manson was fucking untouchable. Bang for your buck, you go to his show, you leave with your jaw dropped. Another great band in concert, I would say. Pantera, man. I was fortunate enough to see Pantera back in the day. They kicked major ass. Metallica puts on a phenomenal show. Tool puts on an unbelievable show. Let's see. I've seen so many. I'm trying to. Rob Zombie puts on a great show, great theatrical show. I'm trying to think of like a show like Marilyn Manson, but Rob Zombie, yeah. Tamrul Patel. Just wanted to say thank you for making my life special. I now have the opportunities to do so much more using my new iPad Pro. Oh, that means the world to me. Thank you. That's nice. My family also enjoys it. Oh, that was the purpose, right? And can face cam with my family all over the world. Oh wow. You truly are the best YouTuber. You know what? I don't talk enough about this of a lot of like winners and stuff that write back. That's awesome. I appreciate that. That means the world to me. Through this whole video I'm talking about motivation and the the motivation to continue. It's that. It's basically stuff like that. That wraps up in a nutshell as far as that for motivation. Yeah. I can't explain in words what that means to me. that sits in the on the heart. And that means the world. Carl Becker, longtime viewer, man. What's up, Carl? What pets have you owned in your life? Your videos have helped me so much through the years. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being an inspiration. Again, wow. Man, okay, ready? I've owned snakes, ball pythons, boa constrictors, betta fish. I'm looking at them now. Many, many betta fish. I've owned tree frogs. I've owned snapping turtles. I've owned painted turtles. I've owned dogs, Jack Russells, Doberman Pinschers, Chihuahuas, Black Labs. I've owned parakeets, budgies. I've owned zebra finches. I've owned an iguana, a Fuji iguana. I know I'm missing something. Oh, African gray parrot. Actually, it was my grandmother's, but she was living with me. What else? Wasn't there something else? Not sure, but there probably was something else. I'm sure there was something else. Trying to think of like when I was real young, if I owned anything that I might not have remembered. My parents claimed that when I was very young, I had lived on a farm in PA. When I was very, very young. Well, I didn't live there, but they had my grandfather owned a farmhouse, and they would spend a few months there out of the year, and they had ducks. And they might have had a goat too. But as far as pets, like when I lived with, in this house, or in through the years, that's pretty much the animals that I actually owned. A Maltese, a white Maltese I had. So that is that. I think we have one more question by Pete Scudder. Favorite PC gaming memory? Ha! Oh boy. Favorite PC gaming memory. Favorite PC gaming memory? I would have to say when my cousin would come over and we would play Quake together. And we would make like our own LAN, and we would have local co-op, and we would play Doom together. We would do that with Doom and Quake, and we would have a blast, but we would stay up all night, and my mom would get mad, and she would say, "Don't you ever go to sleep?" And we had some good times, me and my cousin. We would laugh and joke and talk, and it was like a good get-together. Thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun. I hope I answered your questions, and it means the world to me doing this special. Hope I answered them. Take care. And this means a lot to me. And I'm super excited to have answered your questions on this 20K subscriber special. Take care, everyone.